Have you ever felt it? A deep, persistent, and unexplainable ache in the very core of your being. A quiet whisper that insists you are more than this life you are living? Have you ever looked in the mirror and seen a stranger staring back, their eyes holding a history you can't recall and a destiny you can't yet grasp? This is not a coincidence. It is not your imagination running wild. It is a signal, a calling from a part of you that has been asleep for centuries. And this message, right here, right now, is the key that will finally turn the lock. If you have found your way to this transmission, understand that you did not do so by accident. You were guided here. Prepare yourself, for the world as you know it is about to fall away, revealing the staggering truth of who you are and why you are here. What you are about to read is not just information, it is an activation. It begins with a silence that is louder than any noise, an almost innocent moment that will cleave your life into two distinct parts: the time before you knew and the eternity that comes after. You find an envelope. It has no return address, no postmark, no discernible trace of its journey through the mundane world. It simply appears, as if it coalesced from shadow and thought. Your name is written upon it, inscribed in a deep, lustrous ink that seems to shift and writhe at the edge of your vision, forming patterns and symbols when you are not looking directly at it. A tremor, not of fear but of ancient familiarity, runs through your hands as you open it. Inside, there is no lengthy explanation, no demand, no threat. There are only 7 words, stark and resonant against the impossibly old parchment. 7 words that bypass your conscious mind and speak directly to the blood in your veins, making it feel as if it is flowing backward, rewriting your past with every beat of your heart. We've been waiting for you to remember. At first, a cynical laugh escapes your lips, a defense mechanism your conditioned mind throws up like a shield. It has to be a prank, doesn't it? A highly elaborate joke from someone who knows you too well. Perhaps they know about your late-night internet searches, your insatiable curiosity for forgotten histories, arcane libraries, and the lost wisdom of civilizations that myth claims never existed. Maybe they know about the recurring dreams, those vivid, soul-shaking visions of places you've never been, filled with faces you've never seen, yet feel a profound love and connection for. You try to dismiss it, to place it in the box of mundane oddities. But then, your eyes fall upon it, and the world tilts on its axis. The seal, a strange, intricate symbol pressed into the wax. And in that moment, the breath catches in your throat, your heart stammers, because it is the very same symbol you have been absent-mindedly sketching since you were a child. The one that appears in the margins of your notebooks, on fogged-up mirrors after a shower, or traced in the sand when you are lost in thought. A symbol that has haunted you with a sense of belonging you could never name. Until now, they call themselves the Silent Brothers. And according to this impossible letter, sent by people who should not know your name, from a place that should not exist, your entire life has been a carefully constructed illusion. You are not who you think you are. You are not just another anonymous soul drifting through the relentless machinery of the system, not another face lost in the endless, disconnected crowd. According to them, you are their lost heir. You are the missing fragment of a sacred legacy, a keystone that has been absent for decades, leaving an ancient and powerful structure incomplete. But what should truly shatter your composure is the profound, absolute silence surrounding their name. You have never heard of them. Not once. There are no history books that mention them, no dusty records and forgotten archives, no late-night conspiracy forums whispering their name in the digital dark. The Silent Brothers are a perfect absence, a void where a mountain of history should be. And yet, as you read their name, something deep within your soul stirs from its long slumber. It is not fear. It is the purest form of recognition. It is the sound of a hidden lock buried deep within your chest, finally clicking open after a lifetime of waiting for the right key. It is the feeling of a secret frequency, long dormant and silent, suddenly roaring to life within your spiritual DNA. Your hands tremble, not from terror, but from the overwhelming power of a buried part of you that has finally awakened. Your body has always known the truth that your mind was meticulously trained to forget. They have been watching you, not in the paranoid, intrusive sense that makes you double-check the locks on your windows or scan your rooms for hidden cameras. Their observation is far more subtle, far more profound. They have been watching you through the patterns, through the subtle, invisible trails you leave behind in the tapestry of reality without even realizing it. The books you are inexplicably drawn to in a crowded store, the specific streets you wander down when you need to think, the silent words you whisper to yourself when you believe no one can possibly hear. They have been studying these patterns, reading your life like an ancient, living map that leads directly to something precious that has been long buried. Every uncanny coincidence, every flash of brilliant intuition that defied all logical explanation, every powerful moment of déjà vu where you felt you were reenacting a scene from a story written in a language your mind couldn't decipher. Those were not random glitches in the Matrix. That was them. Or rather, that was you, responding to the invisible signals, the divine frequencies they have been sending since before you were born. You were never paranoid. You were right all along. Someone has been orchestrating the grand symphony of your existence. But they are not puppeteers pulling your strings for control. They describe themselves as archaeologists of the soul, carefully, lovingly, brushing away the thick layers of conditioning, the false memories, and the manufactured normality that was designed to keep your true self asleep. They insist you were never lost, only hidden, never abandoned, only protected. And now, they say, you are ready, old enough, strong enough, or perhaps just desperate enough to finally hear the truth. According to them, your blood carries something that, by the current rules of this world, shouldn't exist anymore. This is not about trivial royal lineage or some forgotten noble ancestry. What flows through your veins is infinitely more significant. You carry the genetic and spiritual memory of something ancient, a power that predates kingdoms, nations, and the very concept of human power itself. You are not descended from kings. You are descended from those who made kings possible, those who could perceive and shape the very fabric of reality. The Silent Brothers claim to be the final, sworn guardians of this sacred bloodline, the protectors of a truth so paradigm-shattering, so dangerous to the powers that be, that it had to be broken apart, scattered across the globe, and hidden within seemingly ordinary people living mundane lives. People just like you, who feel a constant, nagging pull towards something more, who sense that a vital piece of their own story has been deliberately withheld from them. The signs, they tell you, have always been there, whispering to you throughout your life. Think about the way animals react to your presence, sometimes with an unexplainable, profound warmth and trust, other times with a deep, primal unease. Consider the way technology sometimes glitches and malfunctions when your emotions surge, as if your energy field is interfering with the electrical world. And the dreams, those hyper-realistic dreams that feel less like fantastical creations of your subconscious and more like recovered memories, filled with faces you recognize with your heart but have never met with your eyes, and places you know by a deep, cellular memory but have never visited on a map. They even suggest that your parents might not be who you think they are, or rather, that they might not truly know who they are. The bloodline, they explain, doesn't always run in a straight, predictable line. Sometimes it skips generations, lies dormant for a century, waiting for the perfect cosmic combination of time, trauma, and truth to finally awaken it. Sometimes it takes a devastating loss to stir it. Sometimes it takes immense pain. And sometimes, all it takes is for someone to finally tell you the truth that has been hidden from you all along. But who are these Silent Brothers, really? The letter clarifies that they are not a secret society in the way you might imagine. There are no candlelit rituals, no cloaked meetings in ancient, dusty catacombs. They are something far more elusive, infinitely more powerful. They exist in the spaces between spaces, operating quietly within the very folds of reality itself, in a dimension most people never even notice. They move through synchronicity, through those perfect, impossible alignments of events that defy all probability. The chance encounter with the exact right person at the exact right time. The book that falls from a shelf. Open to the precise page that answers your soul's unspoken question. The wrong turn that somehow leads you exactly where you needed to be. That, they say, is their work. Or perhaps, more accurately, it is your own awakening subconscious responding to their invisible, guiding influence. Their order was founded not mere centuries ago, but millennia ago, by beings who understood the nature of consciousness on a level that our modern science is only just beginning to glimpse. They discovered that certain bloodlines, like yours, carried a rare and sacred ability, the power to perceive and shape what they call the substrate, the hidden, luminous framework of reality that exists beneath matter, beneath energy, beneath even thought itself. The Silent Brothers, according to the letter, have spent eons guarding this forbidden knowledge, protecting these scattered bloodlines, and waiting patiently for something monumental to occur. A great turning of the cosmic wheel. And that time, they solemnly declare, is nearly here. They do not call it the end of the world, because it is not an ending. They call it the revision, a moment when reality itself becomes pliable, when the fundamental rules that define existence become open to negotiation. And in that moment, those who bear the old blood, those like you, will determine whether humanity is finally saved or irrevocably undone. What is most unsettling, and yet profoundly reassuring, is this: the letter does not ask for your faith. In fact, it insists that your belief is irrelevant. What matters is not what you believe you can do, but what you can actually do. Enclosed with the letter are a set of instructions, a test designed to be utterly impossible to complete. Unless, of course, you truly are who they say you are. The final line reads, "Go to the place you've always been avoiding, the one that calls to you in dreams but repels you when you are awake." You are instructed to stand at its threshold precisely between day and night, in the liminal space where light and shadow overlap and merge. And there, you must speak the words you have never learned, but somehow have always known. Then, you must watch. Watch what happens to the shadows all around you, and more importantly, to your own. Deep down, you already know where this place is, don't you? It is that one spot you always subconsciously avoid. The abandoned, dilapidated building you drive past without ever truly looking at it. The edge of the forest that makes your skin hum with a strange, electric energy. The lonely crossroads that fills you with a potent cocktail of dread and an inexplicable, magnetic familiarity. You have been orbiting it your entire life, like a satellite caught in the gravitational pull of something it cannot see but can never resist. And the words are there too, hovering just beneath the surface of your conscious thoughts, waiting in a language far older than human speech, ready to finally be spoken. The letter issues a grave warning. Once you complete this test, there will be no going back. Not because some force will stop you, but because you will not want to return. Once you see what you truly are, once you feel the immense gravity and responsibility of your inheritance, the normal world will lose its taste. It will not feel beneath you. It will simply feel too small, too distorted, too broken. You will finally understand what has been done to this world, what has been done to humanity, and what you were born to do about it. According to the Silent Brothers, everything you have ever been taught about history is a fabrication. Not the surface-level lies of corrupt governments or hidden elites, but a much deeper, more fundamental deception. The very structure of how human beings perceive time, causality, and even their own identity has been intentionally engineered to keep humanity fragmented, forgetful, and docile. They claim there was a bygone era, an age when humans wielded consciousness like a master craftsman wields a tool, performing acts that we would now dismiss as miracles. People could communicate mind to mind across vast distances, heal the most grievous wounds without medicine, and travel without physical movement. Then came what they call the severing, a catastrophic cosmic event that violently cut humanity off from these innate, God-given powers. Only a few scattered bloodlines retained the faint, dormant traces of that connection, a divine spark that could, under the right conditions, be reawakened. The Silent Brothers were formed in the ashes of the severing, not to rule over humanity, but to preserve the memory of what was lost. For centuries upon centuries, they have protected this sacred knowledge and safeguarded those few individuals, like you, who carry the sleeping gift, waiting for the one moment in cosmic history when the severing could finally be undone. But they are not alone in this cosmic struggle. The letter speaks of others, of unnamed, shadowy forces known only as the architects of absence. These entities have spent millennia feeding on humanity's disconnection, building their power upon the foundations of fear, limitation, and ignorance. Every strange disappearance of a historical figure who spoke too much truth, every powerful bloodline that ended abruptly and mysteriously, every brilliant mind that inexplicably descended into madness. These, the brothers suggest, are the architect's attempts to meticulously erase the last remnants of the old power. And you, according to the letter, have survived multiple such attempts on your own awakening without ever even realizing you were in danger. The inheritance you carry is not wealth or property or even secret knowledge in the traditional sense. It is something far rarer and infinitely more potent. The Silent Brothers call it the sight, the forgotten inheritance buried deep within your human DNA, the ancient ability to perceive the true fabric of existence itself. It is not simply the act of seeing, but the act of understanding. The sight allows one to witness the underlying architecture of creation, the luminous, energetic lattice that connects all things, the invisible divine code through which the universe communicates with itself. To those who awaken the sight, the world no longer appears solid or separate. It becomes alive, breathing, shimmering with infinite layers of meaning. Every gust of wind, every flicker of light, every word uttered by a stranger on the street carries a profound significance. The universe stops being a series of random, chaotic events. It becomes a dialogue, and you are an active participant. But the true essence of the sight is not just to listen, it is to respond. Those who possess it can speak the hidden language of reality. They can whisper to the field of probability, subtly altering its rhythm, guiding outcomes in ways that appear miraculous to the untrained, sleeping eye. They can make the improbable unfold with a natural, effortless grace, turning potential accidents into divine alignments. They do not defy the laws of nature. They reveal their ultimate pliability. For them, the laws of physics are not immutable commandments, but agreements, boundaries that an awakened consciousness can gently renegotiate. Every moment of uncanny luck you've ever had, every coincidence that seemed perfectly crafted just for you, every thought that manifested into reality faster than logic could possibly explain, those were not accidents. Those were your dormant powers stirring in their sleep, testing their range, reaching for your recognition. If this message is resonating within the deepest chambers of your soul, if you feel an undeniable truth in these words vibrating through your very being, then take a moment to connect with this channel. This is not just a channel, it is a gathering place, a sanctuary for the awakening. Subscribe to God Connection and join the family of souls who are remembering alongside you. Yet, the sight is both a divine gift and a heavy burden. It opens your perception so wide that it becomes impossible to unsee what truly lies beneath the surface of the world. With it, you begin to notice the raw pain hiding behind forced smiles, the trembling fear beneath false bravado, the quiet, crushing despair masked by loud, empty laughter. You see the patterns of suffering, looping endlessly through generations. You see the invisible strings of karma and memory, linking complete strangers in ways they will never understand. You sense the quiet, desperate pleas for help in the eyes of those who are pretending they are fine. You feel the collective grief of humanity, the wounds of the planet, the slow, relentless ache of time itself. And because you can see and feel the energetic threads that connect all living things, you feel each one vibrate with pain when it is cut. Every injustice, every loss, every act of cruelty echoes through your own nervous system as if it were happening directly to you. That is why the Silent Brothers chose silence. Once you can hear everything, the ceaseless murmurs of atoms, the thoughts of the sleeping, the faint, sorrowful cries of forgotten spirits, spoken words lose their weight. To speak feels almost sacrilegious, like interrupting a divine symphony you can barely begin to comprehend. Silence becomes your sanctuary, the only refuge from the unbearable, beautiful intimacy of knowing everything. The letter reveals that you are not alone. There are others, scattered like divine seeds across the world, awakening now in waves. The Silent Brothers call them the Lost Heirs. Each heir carries a different expression, a unique flavor of the sight. Some awaken as profound healers, capable of realigning energy fields, mending bodies and spirits with nothing but their touch and focused intention. Others become visionaries, able to perceive the branching threads of potential futures and subtly guide humanity away from paths of self-destruction. Some awaken as warriors, spiritual guardians who battle not with physical weapons, but with vibration and frequency, defending the delicate balance of the unseen realms that exist alongside our own. And then, there are those who cannot bear the sheer enormity of their new perception, who willingly choose to forget again, to re-enter the dream of the mundane world, even knowing their sleep can never be as deep or as peaceful as it was before. Their eyes, once opened, can never truly close again. But why now? Why would the Silent Brothers, who have remained perfectly hidden for millennia, choose to reveal themselves at this precise, critical moment in human history? The letter speaks of a phenomenon they call the quickening, a vast, unprecedented acceleration in the very pulse of reality. Time itself is beginning to bend and warp. Patterns that once took centuries to unfold now manifest in decades, then years, then mere days. Human consciousness is evolving faster than the old systems meant to contain it, and the cracks are beginning to show everywhere. Every new invention, every global crisis, every wave of synchronicity is converging toward a single, monumental event that is beyond all human comprehension. The brothers call it the opening. They warn that the opening will not be an apocalypse in the destructive, terrifying sense that the word has been twisted to mean. In its original, true form, apocalypsis simply means an unveiling. It is not the end of the world, but the end of the grand illusion. During the opening, the boundary between what is and what could be will dissolve. Reality will become profoundly pliable, instantly responsive to the focus of consciousness. The walls separating the dream world from the waking world, thought from matter, will thin until they vanish completely. In that moment, the latent abilities of those who carry the old blood will surge exponentially. What was once a subtle influence will become direct, instantaneous manifestation. The quiet intuition that once whispered will become a thunderous, undeniable knowing. The faint connection to something greater will become a luminous, unwavering channel to the source itself, the original intelligence from which all existence flows. But this amplification will not be yours alone. The same cosmic tide that empowers the awakened will also strengthen those who have profited from humanity's long sleep. These are the ones the brothers call the architects of absence. Their power is built on fear, ignorance, and fragmentation. They manipulate collective perception, weaving complex illusions that keep humanity disconnected from its true, divine nature. Every system of control, every distortion of truth, every mindless distraction that numbs the soul serves their agenda. They are not mythic demons or cartoon villains. They are intelligent forces of entropy, deeply invested in maintaining the suffering and division that separates humanity from its own divinity. And now, as the opening draws near, they are preparing for their final gambit to seize control of humanity's destiny. This is why the Silent Brothers have finally reached out to you. They are not assembling an army, for this is not a war to be fought with weapons or blood. It is a battle of resonance, a battle for the soul of the world. They need anchors, souls strong enough to hold the high vibration of remembrance while the old world of illusion trembles and falls apart. They are calling you to be a lighthouse during the storm that is coming, to remain grounded in truth when others lose their footing, to radiate coherence when chaos screams from all directions. The task is not to save the world through heroism or conquest. It is to help the world save itself through awakening. To do that, however, you must first fully remember what you truly are. The letter warns that this process of remembering will not be gentle. Awakening, they say, is a form of death. Everything you think you are must burn away. Every borrowed belief, every inherited limitation, every carefully constructed illusion of separation. The persona you built to survive in a sleeping world, the mask you showed to others, it will all begin to crumble. And what remains will be the raw, unfiltered, magnificent truth of your eternal being. It may feel like utter destruction, but it is the highest form of liberation. You will lose everything you are not, only to finally find everything you have always been. And when you finally remember, when the deafening noise of your false identity fades into a profound stillness, you will see it clearly, the world not as a prison, but as a living canvas of consciousness. You will understand that you were never just a participant in reality. You were, and are, an integral part of its design. You are both the observer and the observed, the dreamer and the dream. And through you, the universe remembers itself. The letter seems to unfold into something far more than mere parchment and ink. It feels alive in your hands, humming with a kind of silent, benevolent intelligence, as if the words themselves are watching you, reading the depths of your soul as you read them. It speaks to you directly, not just through your eyes, but through the very marrow of your bones. It lays before you three choices, though it confesses that for a soul like yours, one of them has already been made in a higher realm. Still, it insists on the ritual of choice, as if the act of consciously choosing is what seals the next stage of your becoming. The first option appears deceptively simple: ignore everything. Burn the letter. Pretend it never arrived. Let the ashes scatter on the wind and vanish, as if this sacred moment never happened. The Silent Brothers promise that if you choose this, they will never contact you again. They will never send another sign or another message. You will be free to return to your life as it was, comfortable, predictable, filled with the small distractions and numb routines that pass for peace in the modern world. You can pretend to forget, but the letter warns, almost tenderly, that a knowing, once awakened, can never be fully erased. It will live on in the quiet corners of your awareness, like a faint, beautiful melody you can't quite stop humming. You may convince yourself that it was all just a vivid daydream, but that tiny, persistent hum of truth will keep vibrating beneath the surface of your days. You will feel it when you wake in the middle of the night for no reason. You will hear it in the silence between conversations. You will sense it in the flicker of déjà vu that hits you in familiar places that suddenly feel impossibly ancient. Ignoring the call, they say, does not stop the awakening. It only prolongs the pain of resisting it. The second choice is the path of the cautious seeker, the scholar, the detached observer, the one who dips their toe into the infinite ocean without ever daring to swim. You may choose to investigate. You can research, question, analyze, and approach this profound mystery like a scientist peering at a distant star through a telescope, safe, distant, but utterly fascinated. The Silent Brothers will permit this. They will feed your curiosity, but only gently. They will send you fragments of information, guide you toward hidden manuscripts, and perhaps even connect you with others who stand at the same threshold of awareness. You will be allowed to watch, to learn, to collect data, but you will not be allowed to fully participate. Yet, even as they describe this path, they issue a solemn warning. A half-awakening is a special, exquisite kind of torment. To see the door to your true self, but not walk through it, is to live in a state of perpetual, spiritual ache. To know that there is infinitely more, but to remain bound by fear and comfort, is to suffer a slow, agonizing starvation of the soul. You will live in two worlds, belonging fully to neither, forever haunted by visions of what you could be, yet paralyzed by the dull comfort of what is. The letter's words feel almost mournful as it admits that many who choose this path eventually break beneath the crushing weight of almost. This journey of awakening is not one to be walked alone. The path is challenging, and the support of a soul family is essential. This is why this community exists, to uplift, to empower, and to remind you of your own magnificence. If you feel called to support this mission of global awakening, to help us amplify this signal and reach other lost heirs who are waiting for their call, please consider a $10 donation through the Super Thanks button just below this video. Your generosity helps us continue this sacred work and spread this light further into the world. Then you notice it, an extra fold in the parchment, another page tucked inside, thinner, older, and marked with strange, glowing symbols and words. As you unfold it, the very air in the room seems to shift, to grow thick with an unseen energy. The ink on this page does not sit still. It shimmers faintly, as if it is alive, breathing with a soft, internal light. A series of words, numbers, and phrases are scattered across the paper in no discernible pattern. At first glance, they mean nothing to your logical mind. But as your eyes move from one to another, something profound begins to happen inside you. Your heartbeat changes its rhythm. Your skin prickles with 1,000 tiny points of light, and a powerful wave of recognition rushes through your body. So strong it feels like remembering a dream you once lived, not just dreamed. These are not words you learned. They are words you remember. Images flash through your mind, rapid, vivid, and impossible to explain. A tall, arched room bathed in a soft, golden light. The scent of burning sacred herbs and ozone. A circle of luminous figures communicating without sound. A vast, breathtaking expanse of a star-filled sky beneath you, as you soar, weightless, breathless, and utterly free. A glowing sigil carved in ancient stone that sends a powerful pulse through your heart like a divine electric current. You feel as if you have been in all of these places before, though your logical mind screams that it is impossible. Yet the emotion they carry is undeniable. It is not curiosity. It is homecoming. The letter explains that what you have just encountered are your personal recognition codes. Each awakened soul carries their own unique set, encrypted within the deepest layers of their consciousness. They are not taught. They are remembered. The codes are like divine keys hidden in your soul's very architecture, designed to unlock the sealed chambers of your true memory, buried beneath centuries of dense conditioning. When they are read or heard by the correct individual, they trigger what the silent brothers call resonant recall, a sudden, powerful reactivation of dormant, higher frequencies within your being. The sensations, the visions, the sudden flood of inexplicable knowing, they are not your imagination. They are fragments of the truth of who you were before the great severing. You remember now, faintly but undeniably, that there was once a time when humanity was not bound by the illusion of separation, a time when consciousness was fluid, when you could shape matter with pure intention, when communication happened through the universal language of vibration rather than clumsy speech. These memories are rising like ancient, powerful tidewaters, returning to reclaim the shores of your awareness. The letter insists that these experiences are not hallucinations. They are echoes of what you were before the great forgetting, before you were told you were small, before you believed you were powerless, before you were convinced that the divine, creative spark within you was gone. At the bottom of the page, in that same shifting, living ink, a single line glows faintly. The codes are a test of authenticity. It is a final, silent challenge, a question written in pure light. The letter says, if the codes resonate, you are one of us. One of the lost heirs, one of the carriers of the ancient blood. If they do not, you are still asleep. But you already know the answer, don't you? You feel it in the tremor of your hands, in the electric hum beneath your skin, in the ancient, vast memories stirring behind your ribs. Something immeasurable and unseen has awakened within you. The silent brothers do not need to reach out to you again, because the call is now coming from inside of you. The letter ends with a final sentence, handwritten, as if addressed personally and intimately just to you. Welcome back, heir of the forgotten line. We have been waiting a very long time. Only the true heirs will understand what these words truly mean, not through logic, not through reason, but through a visceral, soul-level recognition that bypasses thought entirely. The letter explains that when an heir reads their codes, they do not simply see them, they feel them. It is not a mental puzzle to be solved. It is an awakening to a specific frequency. To the unchosen, the codes may seem poetic, strange, or perhaps even unsettling, but they will ultimately feel meaningless. Yet to a true heir, they ignite something ancient, something that has lain dormant for eons. It is as if, invisible, cosmic gears begin to turn within the very structure of your DNA, as those centuries of enforced silence suddenly break into the most beautiful music. The letter says you will know the truth, not because you believe it, but because you remember it. The experience is described as unmistakable. It feels like the soft clicking of tumblers in a cosmic lock, a perfect synchronization between your soul and the universe itself. A rush of profound warmth floods through your chest, your pulse accelerates, and for a fleeting, glorious moment, you feel the boundaries of your physical body dissolve. It is not euphoria, it is recognition. It feels like returning home to a version of yourself that has been patiently waiting behind the curtain of ordinary consciousness. It feels like something deep within you whispering, finally, you're awake. But for those who are not heirs, this profound reaction is absent. They will find the codes interesting, mysterious, or even beautiful, but ultimately hollow. They will sense that there is a deep meaning hidden within the words, but they will feel no magnetic pull toward them, no divine spark of remembrance. The letter is crystal clear. This story will not resonate with everyone because it was never meant to. If you read this and feel nothing, then this message was not for you. But if your entire being is humming with a strange, new electricity, if you feel your heartbeat syncing with something vast and unseen, if the very air itself seems to bend and shimmer around you as you read, then you already know what is happening. The remembering has begun. This is your journey, but you are not alone. We are a global family, a network of light. We want to hear from you. Leave a comment below about your own journey, the signs you've seen, and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return to your true self. And please, subscribe to God Connection to stay connected to this growing family of awakened souls. Share this message with those you feel need to hear it. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for a powerful revelation about the undeniable signs that reveal you are one of the chosen ones. We have enjoyed following this sacred spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the very end. Keep shining your magnificent light and embrace your divine destiny with courage and grace. We will see you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful, awakening souls from your family at God Connection.